Well, I watched Cocaine Island. It's a new thing on Netflix, and it is a true story. And it was about, in a sense, kind of like this legend that was out there about a big old bag of cocaine that was buried in Puerto Rico. $2 million worth is pretty much what they figured it out to be. And I can't remember what it was, like 28 kilos or something like that. It's about 70 pounds of blow.
Where did they bury it?
It was just in the dirt. In the sand somewhere. Some guy had found it, washed ashore, buries it.
Virginia asked a good question earlier. She was saying, does anyone else know about the money? To me, that is the biggest thing. If someone else knows, that equals murder.
Yeah, I'm not giving away, this is just right pretty much at the beginning. But yeah, it's a legend that goes around. There's a couple people, it's kind of like a campfire story. This was going on like in Central Florida. And there were a couple people and families that got together, and they would kind of tell this legend of how this cocaine had washed ashore in Puerto Rico, and this guy buried it. So, yeah, there's, 3, 4, 5 different families or people that know about it, but it's like, okay, is it really there? Who knows?
Where would you even start looking?
Yeah, well, there's one person that apparently knows pretty accurately about where it's supposedly buried. Oh. So you're talking about $2 million worth of cocaine buried in Puerto Rico. You know about it. Do you do anything with it? Or not, what would you do about it? And Cocaine Island is about what happens with that knowledge and trying to pursue it. And it is a true story.
Yeah, the fact that other people know about it, I think that's where that's where it ends in bloodshed.
If other people know, can I take them in a fight? Am I smarter?
No, definitely
Am I
not.
quicker?
Getting older.
Well, I mean, you got to. There's so
These are
many,
rhetorical.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors too, because you got to say, okay, is it now a race to the cocaine, or are other people hearing about the story saying, I don't care, it's
Okay, just think you take 50 grand of the 2 mil because you don't want to take all of it. That might just
keep in mind it's just cocaine.
It's cocaine. It's not cash.
Well, okay, you take $50,000 worth of the cocaine. You take that, you sell the product. The whole time that's all going down. Every time you get into a car, every time you walk out of the mall, you don't know if you're going to get capped.
Well, you got to think about it too, because do you know somebody right now that you could unload $50,000 worth of cocaine to that would buy it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I work with one.
Just write that paycheck right over. There are so many different factors, and it's kind of interesting because I think, you can tell a lot about a person based on how they answer this. So, some of the responses coming in, and, somebody said, I would not touch it because it belongs to some dangerous people who won't be afraid to get it back.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
The fear of you getting hurt over it has to outride any kind of joy of having that cocaine.
Unless you're crazier than the person that buried it. That's the question. Who buried that money in the first place? Or, I'm sorry, the cocaine in the first place? Were they soft? Were they scared? Are they trying to get out of the game? If so, maybe you do take the cane.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm starting to change my answer.
Well, the one question I have, too, anybody who knows a lot about blow and does a ton of it, you could call and give us your name and address and let us know. How long does cocaine stay good for? Does it have an expiration date? I mean, do they do that? I don't know. When you buy cocaine, you'd be like going, don't use past certain date.
Great question. And if you bury it at the beach, does it get compromised because of the water?
Well, it was in like a pretty safe. That's why, as it washed ashore, it was in kind of like a watertight bag.
Gotcha.
It was somebody that knew what they were doing. It was, an experienced smuggler, and it had probably just fallen off of a speedboat.
Do you change your whole approach if instead of cocaine, it's weed? Or does it matter? That's still a lot of product to where someone's going to end up
It'd
dead.
probably be less value because if you watch a lot of drug specials like I do, you know that marijuana is worth a fraction of what the cocaine is.
Yeah, come on. Dumb question.
I'm El Dumbo.
Somebody said, yeah, drugs do have an expiration date. So
they do.
Well, this is just it, because this question is great for somebody like me that has no knowledge of the cocaine at all. I'm like, I don't know anybody that could, smuggle it, sell it, all that kind of stuff. So you got a lot of questions here. So what I came up with, if I knew where $2 million worth of cocaine was, now this is risky, Kev. It's probably not what I'd really do. But if I wanted to do it to make sure that I'm safe not only from the drug dealers and runners, but also Johnny Law too, because keep in mind, you're dealing with an item that is not legal, is I would probably find somebody I know that is probably of the abilities to handle it.
Denny's?
And I would just let them know I would hand it off to them and let them do it, sell it, all that kind of stuff. And I wouldn't ever say, hey, you owe me a cut or anything like that. But if they ever decided to, like, pick up some tabs or, just throw me a little bit of cash on the side, they've done it. They've processed it. I think I'm good and in the free and clear from all that, aren't I?
You've done it all wrong.
Why is that
Ralston.
wrong?
Kevin Wrongston is here.
I haven't done
everybody.
anything. I'm just like going, hey, I heard a legend about where this cocaine is buried, $2 million worth. I don't know. Do with it what you will. And hey, maybe one day you could show me some respect.
Here's what you do, okay? First of all, my name would be Bones. That would be my drug dealing name.
Oh, so you're coming up with a whole...
So, yeah, that's what I do. I send
So when you wind up in prison, they're going to change that to boned.
Well... Hear me out here. I send a newbie out there, someone who's just trying to get into the crime game. They do all the legwork. They go out there, they get the cocaine, they go sell it. Then after you get all the money back, you clip them. They're done.
You kill somebody?
Is that Bones?
Oh, boned.
Bones is a cold man.
Boned. You are really, wow.
Give me that face tat.
Ain't nothing worth murder, Bones. Come
Look,
on.
It ain't Jaybird's idea, it's Bones.
Okay. Is there a foolproof plan on, like, if you know where $2 million worth of cocaine is buried in the sand, that you could do it and you could get some of the money, but you don't have to worry about the drug dealers or the police coming after you? Is there the perfect answer?
I like
on
your
how to handle
answer. I think I would handle it the same as you.
I mean,
I know people that would like this challenge. I'm not one of them. But I know that they would take that information and run with it, and then I had nothing to do with it.
mine's morally wrong. I get that. Bones understands that. But is the way Bones approaches this, he's now not linked to the cocaine, and then he silenced the runner. I don't know. If we're living in this seedy world, things get a little
I know.
seedy.
That's why it's like I get so nervous when I watch these specials, but I love them and I think about them so much because I'm like, I know I would never do it, but I obsess about if I were crazy Kevin, the drug lord or the crime boss, how would I be living my life?
You'd be so organized. You'd have a drug prep.
I would. Yeah, all of my hits would be labeled. I would have like the time of death and all
That's
this
what would
kind
take
of stuff.
you down. You'd keep the most accurate records, and that's how the cops bring you down. You're too organized, dude. Bones is very unorganized. That's why it works.
Bones is a murderer? I got to try to talk Bones out of it, though.
I agree. Bones is out of line.
Somebody texted in and said, yeah, cocaine is only good for 3 to 4 months. So if you got the disco
Really?
dust for this weekend, yeah, you might want to check the expiration date.